The most successful entrepreneurs and CEOs really optimize their biology and performance to stay on top of their game. And most business owners try to do the same, but they quickly run into 3 problems. First, they don't have the time to spend hours of researching and testing different things, the best diet, supplementation and biohacks. Second is between all these conflicting informations, they don't know what is actually working for them and where to start. And third, over time they are mostly inconsistent and bounce back after a few weeks when motivation declines and willpower is simply not enough. To solve these problems, I read more than 50 books on health and performance, invest 10K in different seminars, and analyze health data from more than 200 clients. So I develop a 4-step system to achieve better energy, focus, intelligence, and overall performance than 99% of entrepreneurs, which doesn't require much willpower, huge effort, or a lot of time. The only thing that it requires is to take around 10 minutes and watch this video. Because if you're not willing to watch a 10-minute video to get better health and performance, you're honestly not really serious about it. Because this system will help you wake up with energy and motivation again, maintain unmatched focus during the day, and get you in better physical shape and get deep and restful sleep during the night. You ready? Let's go. So let's not lose time and go straight into the first step, and it's get your blood work. When I first opening my personal training gym, I thought I was doing great in terms of my health because I was working out 5 times per week and tried to eat healthy. But as my work hours increased, the more I felt sluggish and fatigued. So my sleep went worse. I had brain fog all the time and it was really challenging to focus during the day. So I needed another solution than just eating healthy and exercising. So I went to the doctor to check my blood. And he said, yeah, everything is fine. Maybe it's the stress. And that's the same problem my clients also faced in the past. Because doctors oftentimes doesn't check everything. A lot of important parameters are not included, even not in the full blood count. And another thing is that doctors and laboratories just look for the reference values. And that's why the doctor told me, yeah, Marvin, all is good. Because they look for the reference range. And the reference range is based on the average of the population. And unfortunately, average is far away from optimal in our society. Because today's society, it's normal that you don't want to wake up in the morning. It's normal that you have an afternoon crash. And it's normal that you're carrying a big belly in front of you and experiencing pain and inflammation all the time. Because that's normal in our society. But as entrepreneurs, we don't want to be normal. We want to be exceptional. And that's why the first step is to get your blood work done, because only then you know exactly what is going on inside your body and you know exactly what you're optimizing for. And then you can take specific supplements or target specific issues in your blood work. You can either research the optimal ranges by yourself or work with a professional and coach. Step number 2 is then check your gut. A couple years ago, scientists researched the connection between our gut and our brain and discovered something fascinating. What they were doing was they took rats and infected them with the gut virus. And then they observed and compared the behavior of these rats. And surprisingly, after infecting them with this virus, they felt more sexually attracted to their actually biggest enemy, cats. So instead of having fear, they felt sexually attracted to them, so they were looking for a close distance. And as a result, they got eaten and the gut virus could spread also among the cats. The same happens on a smaller scale also in humans. We know from research that some kind of intestinal fungi can lead to sugar cravings. Why? Because the fungi in our intestinals need sugar to grow and survive. And that's why our gut is telling our brain to crave and eat lots of sugar, so we get more food and nutrients for that intestinal fungi. And that's a powerful example of the connection between our gut and our brain. And many entrepreneurs miss that the gut is one of the most important organs in our body when it comes down to health and performance. Because let's be honest, not many people like to talk about that. But how do we fix our gut? And how do we know if we have some kind of maybe viruses or fungi inside our gut? Well, I provide a gut health test for my clients because it's the easiest way to identify potential viruses, toxins or fungi or things like a leaky gut syndrome, identify needed probiotics, and the best and worst foods for our gut microbiome. Because also independent of our gut health results, there are things that you should definitely be aware of. First is to avoid gluten. Gluten is a form of protein that acts like a sandpaper for your gut. Even if you don't have a specific gluten intolerance, it doesn't benefit your health. So try to really minimize foods that contain gluten and especially wheat. So things like bread, pasta, cakes, donuts, etc. The wheat that we consume nowadays is far different from what our parents and grandparents consumed 50, 100 years ago. That's the reason why they could eat more bread without having these negative side consequences. And yes, even whole grain would really damage your gut. The same applies for soy sauces, protein bread, really dangerous because most of the time they put some form of gluten in the bread so they can label it as higher protein, but it's actually worse than normal bread. If you really want to stick to a bread, then try to prefer sourdough and really high quality sourdough. Recently, a client of mine traveled to Italy. And before his vacation, we really minimized all kind of gluten in his diet. But of course, when you travel to Italy, you have to try this local pizza and pasta. But he told me that after eating that stuff, he felt like he needed a nap immediately after it. That's why skipping wheat and gluten is one of the easiest way to optimize your gut microbiome and optimize your energy levels throughout the day. Second way is to minimize artificial sweeteners. A few years ago, I fell into the trap of all the low calorie and zero products. I was drinking a lot of protein shakes, high protein products, used flav powders and sweeteners because I was thinking it's way better, it doesn't contain sugar, and my gut health went terrible. When I made a gut health test, my results were shocking. Even if I tried to eat healthy, because I was thinking that these kind of foods are kind of healthy. But we know from research now that artificial sweeteners can damage our gut microbiome. So a protein shake here and there is completely fine, but take care of the overall amount of sweeteners that you consume. To wrap the second point up, I'm now giving you a unique hack that you can try today to boost your gut microbiome. And I recommend it to my clients immediately if their gut health is not optimal. And it's a drink, I call it the gut health drink, and it consists of 6 things. Water, at least 10 ounces, around 3 to 4 tablespoons of apple vinegar, around 3 to 4 tablespoons of lime juice, a pinch of Himalayan salt or colored or natural salt, 1 teaspoon of flax seeds, and 1 to 2 teaspoons of glutamine. Drink this immediately after wake up, and it will not just help you get better digestion, but also increase overall energy in the first part of the day. So try it out and let me know in the comments down below how it worked. Now we enter step 3 on our way to become a biohacked and optimized entrepreneur. And this is step 4, creating a routine. Picture this. It's 7 p.m. in the evening. You're sitting in front of your computer and you're trying out to cut down your to-do list, but it seems still endless. You've been working already for more than 9 hours and looking forward to just get home, lay down on the warm couch to decompress and relax after that exhausting working day. Question: how likely is it now that you hit a workout instead of going directly to the couch? It's really low, right? Because it requires too much willpower that you already use during the day. This is why creating a routine is so powerful. You wake up in the morning, you will know exactly how your morning will look like. So you don't have to think about all these minor tasks. For example, what I'm gonna have for breakfast now. Maybe I should meditate, or either taking a quick shower, or maybe I'll go to the gym today. By having a quick and simple morning routine, your health and performance is still running on autopilot. So let's get more specific. First part is to create a meal plan. You should at least eat 3 times per day to stabilize your glucose levels. So that means it's 3 times a huge decision. It's always the question, what I'm gonna eat right now. So this costs so much energy and you eventually end up just ordering something from Uber Eats. That's why I create a meal plan for my clients. If possible, you can also hire a chef or get some healthy food delivery so that your meals are actually prepared for the day. Second, as I already mentioned, to create a simple and short morning routine. But please don't commit to a 12-step morning routine that will require hours to finish. It can just include 2 steps. For example, drink the gut booster drink that I show you and then meditate for 10 minutes. If you do this on a consistent base every day, it will pay off. So less is more. Stick to the routines that bring you the biggest leverage. And third, and this is huge, schedule your exercise. You should treat your health like a business meeting. So schedule it in your calendar. Honestly, you don't need that much time for training to see results. 2 times per week for resistance training can be enough to see massive results in terms of muscle gain and fat loss. And of course, make sure you move throughout the day. So schedule between your work blocks maybe 15-minute breaks where you take a quick walk or do 1 or 2 stretching exercises so that you don't rely on motivation and willpower. Step number 4 is sleep optimization. If you completed step 1 to 3, you're already ahead of 70% of entrepreneurs. But if you want to further optimize your focus, willpower, energy, and intelligence, it's time to elevate your sleep. This is why entrepreneurs like Jeff Bezos always highlight the importance of getting good and enough sleep. For my clients, we use an Oura ring to track how much deep and REM sleep we get. And then based on these data, we can optimize the sleep with precision. And if you want to have a complete sleep guide for entrepreneurs, simply click the link down below in the description and download it for free. And if you got some value out of this video, then make sure you subscribe to that channel. That's it for today, guys. See you soon.